record to the computer. And since my connection may come in and out, I've made Sam co-host so she can manage if I get accidentally disconnected. So let's get started. The agenda today really will be about updates to the script because Sam and I have broken down a few things that we wanted to refine. It will be about calendar availability, scheduling. It will introduce our understudies, and then we'll do a run through. And then if we have time at the end, we'll go through a deep discussion on the themes. Does that sound okay with everybody?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's just take a moment to actually welcome one of the two understudies who's decided to commit to this amazing work of art. And that is Simon. Simon is going to be understudying Lisa's role as Antonio.
Lisa's role. Okay.
Yes. All right. So, yeah, you could say a few words or you don't have to. That's fine.
I can say, please don't plan to take my knees out with a crowbar, just to be honest.
Oh, Simon is very professional. He would never do that. He would just slip you some poison.
Yeah. A diuretic into your coffee.
Exactly. All right. So, all right, just a little bit about what does that mean is that, of course, it is very unlikely that Lisa and Honey will not be able to perform at all. So, however, if Lisa gets sick or has to move to her new country or whatever very quickly, Simon would step into the role. And let's just talk about what that means in terms of the change. There are 4 scripts, as you know, based on the gender fluidity approach. And that would mean that then we would be shifting to the script number 2, which is Antonio and Josephine blind interview, where the man is on the date and the woman is on the interview. So doesn't mean much for Josephine herself, but except that she has to be ready to hear slightly different lines. So Antonio would be talking. Would Antonio actually? I think he'd still be talking about your age, because your age is still the issue there. So I think there's not much to worry about in terms of differences. Now, if Josephine ends up, Honey gets a promotion and moves to Switzerland, then David would step into that role, and then you would have the original script, which was woman on date, man on interview. I think I just confused myself, but how about you guys? Are you clear on that?
Yep.
All right. I cannot imagine both Lisa and Honey would get sick, and then we suddenly have the male version, but khalas, it could always happen. All right. So that's that. Now, for calendar availability, did everybody update their availability?
I think I only did this week.
Okay.
Kind of like, I'm not sure yet about tomorrow, but I will update this as soon as I know.
Okay. So let me just check. And Lisa, you updated your 20th of February? Yes.
Friday, okay. Yeah. I think it's just going to be a logistical mess trying to get in and out.
That's no problem. I'm just looking because I would have said that would have been a great opportunity then to have an understudy rehearsal, which means that I would then accept that your understudy is also only virtually available.
Yeah, most likely. It's like,
so that
weekends,
doesn't work.
I'll be able to back up.
Yeah. So that doesn't quite work, unfortunately. Anyway, I'll keep updating. I will see what I can do in terms, because we do want to have at least one understudy rehearsal, which would mean I would partner Antonio and Josephine together, or Anita and Joe together. But don't worry about it. I will find a way to do that. If not, we'll just cancel that rehearsal, which sure can be relaxing for everybody. Okay, and then the next update we have is one script update, and I'll hand over to Sam to take us through this update on the interpretation of about 4 or 5 lines towards the end. So if everyone
Okay.
could open up your scripts and go to page, what was it, Sam? It's like the second to last
I
page.
was looking at the page. Yeah, second to last. Yeah. So it's from where they say. So go to. Oh yeah. So how long do these usually go? So this is where the nice that we could get some food and then from after that point. So how do these long do these usually go? Well, I suppose it depends on whether it's a success or not. And where Josephine then says, "Oh yes, sure, I haven't done too many of these." Now, Lisa, this came about actually because we realised when me and Antonia talked about this at the weekend that your Anita, she actually says, wait a minute, let's go into it. Oh, that's nice. I have done a lot. Now, um, you've been playing this very much so as in, this is your first date in a long while, which it is, and which is how we will keep it. But we just need to make sure that that part is done well to make it doesn't contradict. So it doesn't look like
Yeah,
she's been on loads.
I was thinking about that too. But I love that line.
Yes, that's right, and that's gonna say, well, this is what we came up with anyway. So and see what you think. So we've got I haven't done too many of these, so that's Joe, it's fine. And then when you go, oh nice, I have done a lot. Really, the sort of like that should be said. It's when you're sad, you're wary. You're weary. Sorry, you've been doing this is your of your age, but you've been throughout all your life. You're just not where you want to be. So it's not like you've done a lot
I
recently. It's
see.
more like so it's more like I've done this a lot in my life actually, and yeah, you're wary, you're fed up, really. That's the kind of what you're trying to convey with that.
Okay.
I mean, does that sound okay?
Yeah, well, we can try it and see how it sounds.
That's right, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. Right, okay. Then from there, so obviously this is the part where we're going to sort of like build up to an apex. Okay, so we've got so Josephine says, I can imagine, and it's almost like she's, empathizing with that. And then Anita, at this point, you're starting to get upset. So again, we're sort of, am I a loser? Is that what you're trying to say? And Josephine backtracks, oh, I suppose you've been here already all day trying to explain herself, a bit panicky. And then now when you say not at all, obviously we're building up because we're like, right, okay, so first you called me a loser and now you're calling me a slut, in other words. So you're getting more and more sort of cross about this. And we're building up the tension. And then when Josephine obviously keeps adding fuel to the fire without realizing it, saying, I know this is a lateral move for me, but I'm interested in. And Josephine, you're so confused. You're like, what the hell? I mean, I'm saying all the right things here, but Anita's getting more and more angry. And then this is your apex when you're like, full move, at that point, you are like, what the actual, you're mad. And then even when, and we discussed this, and again, we can see what it looks like, but then even when Josephine sort of interjects and is like, well, no, even at this point, it would be good to keep the tension. Um, so that the line after sort of lands where it's like and breaks it. So at this stage, you don't seem to be that interested anymore. You haven't asked me a single personal question, and you've really built it up. Then you're really up there, and then Josephine drops that line, and then everything changes because it's like,
A
oof,
balloon popping.
oh, what the hell? Actually, so it's that really
Josephine,
that
girl.
yeah. Like,
Okay,
is
so
that
thank you.
okay?
Thank you, Sam. So for the lateral move and the personal question, we want actually the same level of anger. They're both at the apex because you have to keep the helium balloon lifted before Josephine pops it with her line, right? But on the personal question, I want you to release a little bit of the tension into your hands by slapping them on the table and leaning forward.
Okay.
Boom, right?
Okay.
Okay. Comments, questions? Thank you, Sam, for taking us through that. All right. Okay,
That
so
makes sense.
yeah, thank you. All right, so let's then do a run through, a strict run through. I'll count. Oh, sorry, just before, did everybody get to look at the staging video? Does it make sense?
I did.
Great. No questions, no complaints?
The only thing I would like to try, and maybe this would make it too complicated, could we do some weird, funny sitting down, standing up thing when she comes in? Because it's like she goes to sit down, but then I don't sit down, but she thinks it's an interview and it's inappropriate for her to sit down before I sit down. And it's just like a little bit of like awkwardness, which I think is not coming across very well as I'm explaining it. But
Well,
can you
so
picture that?
are you who here is coming tomorrow to the rehearsal physically? Okay. Yeah, all right. So we can definitely play around with that tomorrow. Actually, I was discussing with Sam here about how much I want to push the emotion, the line reading, and the staging and blocking before you have your lines memorized. Maybe before we do the run through, we have a discussion about this. Do you guys want this all kind of settled before I make you go off book?
No. For me personally, it is easier for me to wrap in. I can do about 50% until I have my lines memorized, and then I can do the rest of it. I can do the blocking with the 50%, but once the lines are memorized, the other 50% is the character development, which I usually just can't get into until my lines are completely memorized. But I have
Honey,
two
how about
pages down.
you? Great. Honey, how about you?
I think it's okay for me. Like, I'm flexible.
Okay, well then I would say let's not worry about those little tweaks, Lisa, right yet. Let's get the lines down. And the vocal inflection and that kind of stuff, right? I'm not so worried about the blocking as I am about everybody really understanding where the emotion is on which line for what intention. Because it's so important to get that across, I feel like if we don't get, I mean, if we get that down, the blocking can be shit and it will still be a decent production, right?
Yeah.
But the other way around, then the blocking is just a distraction to make sure people don't get bored. And that's not the vibe
Yeah.
we're going for, right? All right. Okay, so then I think in the calendar, I kind of put for off book on like the 22nd of February or somewhere around there. So let's try and keep that in mind in terms of target. Yes?
Yes.
You're all amazing. I totally believe in you. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself and then I'm going to hand count Anita in for her first line. Okay, let's do the run through. So 5.
I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic was terrible.
I'm sure the rain made it worse. Don't worry about it. Glad you made it.
Sorry, I'm Joe, by the way.
Yes, Joe. I thought you preferred Josephine.
No, Joe's fine.
I thought we'd start to get to know each other a little bit.
Yes, of course.
So, where are you from?
Just down the road from here, actually. I am a local, born and bred. And you?
Oh, same. I went to high school here, but I went to university in Canada, and then I came back here after graduation to start my career.
Yes, of course. So a little bit about me. I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Warwick, followed by my MBA in Cologne.
Wow, that's quite the resume.
Yes, exactly. So the first position was as a financial advisor with the Deutsche Bank, and then I worked for the RBS,
RBS.
Royal Bank of Scotland. Um, so full disclosure, with DB, I made about 89,000 euros a year. With RBS, 120,000 Great British pounds. But that was when I was younger, and I expect much more now that I am firmly established in my career.
Good for you.
Yeah, so this is a little awkward to ask, but six figures, right?
Oh, you're right. It is awkward to ask.
Yes, but I thought it's best that we don't waste our time.
I mean, I don't care what you make as long as you're passionate about what you do.
Sure, I am passionate, really.
Oh, I am sure you are. So, tell me what you're passionate about.
Investments and getting the client the dividends they really need to make their money go. I really like to help people achieve their financial goals.
You seem really focused on money.
Oh, I'm well rounded too. I have a lot of hobbies.
Tell me about them.
I do ultra marathons. That shows that I have a lot of endurance and stamina. That'll be good in any position.
Well, that's direct.
I'm very direct. I know what I want and I go for it.
All right, then. If we're being direct, I understood you'd be older.
Older?
I think it's important to represent yourself accurately.
How is my age relevant?
Age isn't relevant, but honesty is.
I think you'll find that nowhere have I indicated age.
Maybe there was a miscommunication.
Miscommunication is the death of any team.
You look at it like teamwork?
Oh, definitely. Especially since I intend to be a partner someday.
Wow, that's very forward leaning of you.
I think that's very standard today, especially when it comes to people with my assets.
Oh, I see you have a sense of humor.
Yes, I have a sense of humor. I find it useful as part of building a team.
Hold on. I do want to hear more, but first let's order some food. Look, here, you order it on this tablet.
Oh, that's cool. Yes, I guess you have been here a long time. You must be hungry.
I mean, not that long, but yeah, I think it would be nice to have some food. After all, we don't know how long we'll be here.
How long do these usually go?
Well, I suppose it depends on whether it's a success or not, right? I mean, how long does.
Oh, yes, sure. I I haven't done too many of these.
Oh, that's nice. I've done a lot.
Oh, I can't imagine.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I suppose you've been here all day.
Not at all.
Look, this is a lateral move for me, but I'm interested in.
A lateral move?
Well, no.
No, you don't seem very interested in me at all. You haven't asked me a single personal question all night without prompting.
Why would I ask you a personal question at an interview?
Do we have the other Joe?
Oh, yes, sorry. I won't lie.
What? Jump into you? What?
I care.
She's not awake,
You
huh?
should have seen her. You should have seen her. I think I'm in love. I'm so glad your friend stood me up. Otherwise, I would never have met Polina.
The resume?
The six figures?
We'll get back to you on the result of the interview in 2 weeks. Thank you again for coming early. I can't imagine what happens to the other candidate.
Okay, well done, everyone. Thank you so much for the first or second run through. Okay, a
Great
few
British
notes.
pounds made me laugh too hard.
Okay, a few notes here. The first one I wrote down was Josephine, for the line, how is my age relevant? I want you to be much more defensive. You're coming across right now as just slightly weirded out, but remember that this is a sore point for Josephine because she is young, and she thinks people undervalue her because of that. So a little bit more strong on that, more like, how is my age relevant? Although I'm a bad actor, but you get what I'm trying to say. All right. The next one is Anita, I don't like the line that's forward looking of you.
Yeah, I
Next,
don't like
No.
next runner through, let's do wow, you're way ahead of me there.
you're way ahead of me there. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think that also makes just more sense emotionally.
Yeah.
Like it would work both in a job interview and it works also very well in a relationship conversation. Whereas the other one, not so much.
Okay.
So let's make that change.
Yep.
I'm gonna cross out this line. Where is my whatever. Do that later. Now for Anita's, so for Josephine, the hand movement on assets, fantastic. I love it. I love it. It's so natural. It's so obviously just an enthusiastic job interviewee. I want Anita's drop gaze to really sell that you are looking at her chest. And a little more fluster, not sarcastic. A little less on the sarcasm in your response, Anita, like, oh, I see you have a sense of humor, but more like it's more like you look down and you're actually embarrassed that you checked her out. And then you're like, oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. You know, like, oh my God, I checked her out.
Okay, I did not read it that way, but I like that. Yeah.
I think it's a moment of cuteness. So and Josephine can just be like, wait, why is she what the fuck? Like, why are you loud? Why did she really just check out my chest? Oh no, she's saying something positive. Whatever. Yay! Okay. Recovery. Okay, next point from my side. Okay. Now this ending. Why would I ask you personal questions at a job interview? Every line after this must have a rhythm. So, job interview. You should have seen her. I think I am in love. I am so glad your friend stood me up, whatever. Otherwise, I would have never met Paulina. 1, 2, 3. The resume. 1, 2, 3. The 6 figures. 1, 2, 3. We will get back to you at the result. You see, like it's got to have a rhythm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Because the punchline has been delivered. Now it's like the complete chaos laughter of some follow-up punchlines, right? And the 6 figures and the resume. So I do want that rhythm. I know that there's so much that's going on up to that point that's really critical, but I don't want to fix this at the end of the rehearsals. I want to fix this now. Okay. Questions, comments, and then over to Sam for her notes, please.
Yeah, my one comment was maybe sort of adding, the resume, the 6 figures, my assets.
Okay, I like that. Let me think about it. Because that would be like a third one. That would be a third one. Let me put this down. The 6 figures, laughter, my assets. Okay, we'll put it in parentheses for now and in yellow. So that would mean that it would be, let's think about this rhythmically. Otherwise, I would have never met Paulina. The resume. The 6 figures. My assets. I mean, it could work. Let me think about it. But I put it in for now and I have highlighted it in yellow.
Like
okay. Sam? Sam Blam?
Yeah, okay. So a lot of my notes matched Antonio's actually. However, I did have a couple of extras. So I still feel like with the end part with the leading up to that apex, that's still going to definitely need more to really make that distinction between the anger and then that tension, and we can practice that tomorrow. And I just felt that there just need to be a little bit more on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was one more, and it was for Lisa. So when you say, well, that's very direct. I don't know what page is up here actually. I'll remember well, that's very direct. Again, so you said that quite quickly, but the original note was like breaths between parts. So just that,
oh, pause between the well.
yeah. So that's a little pause. Just drag that out, and then it was the same to you, honey. Again, just with like there was just some bits where you were sort of doing almost like I'm slightly psychopath no, like I said, what the hell sort of thing. But yeah, and so just that's just the same note as Antonia's. So just a little bit more there. So yeah. Okay, that's everything from me.
All right, good.
Any questions?
Comments, complaints?
Yeah.
If not, let's do another run through, shall we?
Yeah.
We've got the time, so let's do it. Counting you in, I guess it was Josephine supposed to count in, sorry. 5, 4.
I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic was terrible.
I'm sure the rain made it worse. Don't worry about it. Glad you made it.
Sorry. I'm Joe, by the way.
Yes, Joe. I thought you preferred Josephine.
No, Joe's fine.
I thought we'd start by getting to know each other a little bit.
Oh, yes, of course.
So, where are you from?
Oh, well, just down the road from here, actually. I'm a local, born and bred. Um,
Oh, oh,
and
sorry.
you?
Oh, same. I went to high school here, and then I went to university in Canada, and then I came back here to start my career.
Yes, of course. So about me, I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Warwick, followed by my MBA in Cologne.
Wow, that's quite the resume.
Yes, exactly. My first position was as a financial advisor with the Deutsche Bank, and then I worked for the RBS.
RBS.
Royal Bank of Scotland. So, full disclosure, with DB, I made about 89,000 euros a year. With RBS, 120,000 Great British pounds. But that was when I was younger. I expect much more now that I'm firmly established in my career.
Good for you.
So, this is a little awkward to ask, but six figures, right?
Oh, you're right. It's awkward to ask.
Yes, but I thought it's best we don't waste our time.
I mean, I don't care how much you make as long as you're passionate about what you do.
Sure, I am passionate, really.
I'm sure you are. So tell me what you're passionate about.
Investments and getting the client the dividends they need to really make their money go. I really like to just help people
You
achieve their
seem
financial goals.
really focused on money.
Oh, well, I'm well rounded too. I have a lot of hobbies.
Tell me about them.
I do ultra marathons. That shows that I have a lot of endurance and stamina. That'll be good in any position.
Well, that's very direct.
I'm very direct. I know what I want and I go for it.
All right, then. If we're being direct, I understood you'd be older.
Older?
I mean, I think it's important to represent yourself accurately.
How is my age relevant?
Age is not relevant, but honesty is.
I think you'll find that nowhere have I indicated my age.
Well, maybe there was a miscommunication.
Miscommunication is the death of any team.
You look at it like teamwork?
Oh, definitely. Especially since I intend to be a partner someday.
Wow, you're way ahead of me there.
I think that's pretty standard today, especially when it comes to people with my assets.
Oh, uh, I see you have a sense of humor.
Yes, I have a sense of humor. I find it useful as part of building a team.
Hold on. I do want to hear more, but first let's order some food.
Yes,
Look, here, you order on this tablet.
yes, that's cool. Yes, I guess you have been here a long time. You must be hungry.
Not that long, but yes, I think it would be nice to get some food. After all, we don't know how long we'll be here.
How long do these usually go?
Well, I suppose it depends on whether it's a success or not, right? I mean, how long do
Oh, yes, sure. I haven't done too many of these.
Oh, that's nice. I've done a lot.
Oh, I can imagine.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I suppose you have already been here all day.
Not at all.
Look, I know this is a lateral move for me, but I am
I
interested
am
in.
a lateral move?
Well, no. What?
No, you don't seem very interested in me at all. You haven't asked me a single personal question all night without prompting.
Why would I ask you personal questions at a job interview?
You should have seen her. I think I'm in love. I'm so glad your friend stood me up. Otherwise, I would never have met Polina.
The resume?
The six figures?
Sorry, I'd muted myself. We'll get back to you on the result of the interview in 2 weeks. Thank you again for coming early. I can't imagine what happened to the other candidate.
All right, good. Like if we can get that rhythm at the end really good,
Yeah,
because
my
what
bad.
we'll also yeah,
My
what
bad.
we'll also do is like the staging, the miming is gonna help, right? Because we are gonna have to sketch out like you saw in the script, it's like, oh my God, they're looking at the resume, they're like, oh, and they're clarifying to each other, even though we don't hear the dialogue, right? So like there is a bit of this that we have to do, but I think it's important that the rhythm is there. I have two positive notes. I mean, all of our notes are positive. But for Josephine, I really like how you came up with your own way of when you're saying, I go after it. I know what I want and I go after it. It's very sweet. And actually, the youthful eagerness is coming through in a way that's not coming through in other lines. And I really like it. So do that again, always. And then also the way you read, yes, I have a sense of humor. It's like I'm gonna have to. It's good that I'm recording this because I'll clip out that so you can review yourself and how you did it. I like how you did it this time as well. I think I'm gonna pick up on Sam's previous comment. I think we do have to work on making um, the vocal changes different and distinct. Like I have done a lot to, what's that supposed to mean? To not at all. You know, like really you have to bring it up like that. And those are three different voices. Right now they're tracking very similar, which is not a problem theoretically, but you know, we want to make it distinct, like Sam was saying. So okay, it from my side. Sam?
Yeah, just a quick one. Another thing, honey, that I don't even know if you realize you did it, but it looks so good. Is when you were doing, especially since I intend to be a partner someday, you actually adjusted your glasses. And I don't know, the way you sort of did it was almost, it was great. I was like, I don't know if you just needed to adjust your glasses or did you do that deliberately?
I think I didn't need to adjust my glass. I just I felt like I don't know, like a
Yeah, I
trying to
liked
compose
it. I just
myself.
Yeah, can you keep that? Because I like that. It's almost like I'm going to be a partner, and like that's you like adjusting yourself, making yourself look, I don't know, more pristine. I really enjoyed that. So please do that going forward. It's great. And I think, yeah, same with what I said to Anita. Just it's definitely there was definitely more emotion that time, so good. But again, just a little bit more. And I did have one more. Wait. Where did I put it? And it's it's Josephine for you, her name. Oh, I know. Do you know where you say Royal Bank of Scotland?
Yes.
At the moment, I don't know what you think I told you, but it comes across a bit smiley and a little bit more like Royal Bank of Scotland, rather than I would say you would probably be a little bit less smiley about that. You'd probably be a bit more why don't you actually know what this is? And so I picked so maybe yeah, just more confusion, less smiles, I would say.
Yeah, Sam, I wrote that down too. That's a good point. I think the smiliness, it's like when you like bare your teeth, you're like Royal Bank of Scotland. But I think so there's two issues here.
Maybe
It's
more proud. Yeah.
like Sam is saying, it doesn't come across that you're actually weirded out that somebody who's a financial expert doesn't seem to know this acronym. And the second thing is on stage, it's and this is only on camera where we are in your face, right?
Mm.
On stage, it's going to have to be even bigger and even clearer. You might need an actual head movement, a head tilt, a pause, and a Royal Bank of Scotland, you know? So, like, think about that to make it really clear. You're not dismissing her. Like, because sometimes the reading is Royal Bank of Scotland. Like, come on, I can prove that I know the acronym. That's not the vibe we want to go for. Okay? Agreed with Sam. All right.
Okay.
Actually, I did also have a note on the end. Sam, do you have anything else?
That's everything from me, guys.
Okay.
Should Honey drop the great when she says Great British Pounds?
Sorry, say it again.
No one really says Great British Pounds. Yeah, just British Pounds or just Pounds.
Yeah, I like in the pronunciation guide I wrote, I basically said it's up to her. She can go with either GBP, Great British Pounds, pounds, it doesn't matter. I think, honey, you should make probably the choice based on the rhythm, right? Because it's a bit musical, right? You're like 89,000 euros, 120,000 GBP, 120,000 pounds. I think one of them probably sounds better to you. I personally am not very strong opinion on it, so go with what you feel is good. Okay? Okay. So then one more comment on the end. Miss Feature, I know it's your only line, but I want it like really big. Like, and you've got the professional voice thing really good, so I have no really comments on that. But it's almost like because you're the last line, right? You're the last line, and then Josephine, in a way, Josephine kind of hears you, not really, right? But she has this like it's going to align with her cue of dawning realization that she's missed the job interview. So that means that she has to be triggered. So when I originally wrote this, I actually imagined you kind of coming out, not on stage, but below the stage, and like a little spotlight and say, "We will come back to you," like really projecting, right? And like almost like you're making an announcement. And then like Honey in her, spidey sense hears this in the subconscious and goes, "Oh," right? So, yeah, if you can, I guess the thing is a little bit slower, maybe a lot louder, projecting, but keep the same type of professionalism and pause. Let's see, pause a little bit between weeks and thank you. But just to kind of like a tut before I can't imagine. So it's like, thank you again for coming early. I can't imagine what happened to the other candidate. Is that okay? It's a lot of notes for one line, but it is kind of the whole the linchpin. All right. Comments,
It,
complaints? Yes,
it
Simon, go
could
ahead.
almost be like a bit separated. Like, we will get back to you on the results of the interview in 2 weeks. Thank you again for coming early. And then kind of like separate. I can't imagine what happened to the other candidates.
Yeah, we could do that too, actually. Hold on a second. Let me replay that in my head.
It's like,
Yeah,
thank you for
So
coming early.
almost as
Simply
though I'm
for
saying
her.
that
And then
last bit to myself rather than to the other
yeah,
person.
or to the
exactly.
audience if we want to break
Yeah.
the fourth
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Louise, will you be able to make it in person tomorrow?
No, sorry, because I'm on holiday this week. I'm going
No
to
worries.
flying out.
No, it's fine. I wasn't looking at the availability. I think it's Now, anyway, do some thinking, break it down, Louise, practice it a couple of different ways, and then we'll see what.
Could even like look towards the table. It's like, I really can't imagine what happened to the other candidate.
It was clearly not that woman over there who's on a date. Anyway. All right. Okay, we've been moving really fast, which is fine. So do we want to do one more run through, or do we want to shift to the theme discussion now? How do you guys feel?
We could do the theme discussion and then do one more run through.
I like it. Everybody else okay with that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so theme discussion is basically, I mean, you've all seen my introduction video, which is where I kind of laid out my vision. But what I'd like to do now is just do a Twitter tab of everybody here, and just see if you can name one of the themes that really is standing out to you, and what should maybe we accommodate then in order to make sure that comes across. So I'm just going to go left to right here from my screen, which means that Sam's first.
So, I mean, one of them that stands out, I guess, is where we've got the whole, the partner thing, and that being progressive. So we touch upon that partway through it. So these are themes that occur throughout the play, I guess, is what you're saying, yeah. I'm just trying to make sure, yeah. So we've got the partner theme, and there's been like this is quite a progressive. There's a progressive attitudes around the table. So that's one of the things.
Okay. Thanks. So you might maybe want to lead into that more a little bit about the nature of progressiveness in partnership, in romance, in whatever, in dating, right? Or
Yeah.
also in
So I
jobs.
think, yeah. So well, I mean, I haven't really thought about this loads actually. I'm not gonna like so sorry if this doesn't come across very brilliantly, but I'm just thinking about it now. In terms well, I thought about the play a lot, but just like not about these specific things. So anyway, but yeah, just about the fact that, about the whole being a partner, and then the whole line about, oh, that's very progressive. And so you're sort of bringing into here progressive attitudes towards, towards but gay couples, I guess.
Romantic relationships. Yeah. Yeah,
Romantic
that's definitely one part of it. Okay. So thanks, Sam. How about you, Simon? You're next on my screen.
Hmm. I mean, it's very progressive to have a job interview at a restaurant, right? I guess.
Mm.
Is that just me? Nobody else has ever done a job interview at a cafe.
I have.
Yeah, I was like, is that an American thing?
Are you sure?
It is
Did you
American
get the
thing.
job? Or did you end up in a relationship?
All right. Okay. Louise, how about you?
I mean, I don't not really sure how to comment. The communication miscommunication. I mean, I think that's already very clear, and I think that's coming out quite well now, especially as that ramps up between them, and maybe also that we're too polite to ask for clarification sometimes. So that's also, especially the person in the job interview. They're trying to go with it, even though something is definitely off. I don't know. Yeah, it's coming out.
No, okay. So the communication norms and practices is coming through, which is good because that's definitely part of it. I think one of the interesting things I thought was that Joe does not ask the interviewer's name ever. She doesn't confirm that. She makes a bunch of assumptions, right? She sees a woman sitting alone at a table, and she's like, and she's maybe wearing just the right amount of professionalish clothing, that she's like, oh, that must be her, and because she's stressed out, she doesn't ask for clarification. I think that's really an excellent point. Okay, so well, I am glad that's coming through. So would you feel then we don't need to lean into that more if we get the rhythm right? It's already coming across. Okay. All right, next person on my screen, Lisa.
So I would say it's about, well, my thought on it is not processing body language or being able to read how someone else is reacting to you, because she seems to, well, they both seem to kind of just not just be talking past each other, but also not reading how the other person's responding to what they're saying and how they're acting.
Yeah. Okay, so it's
And
like
could that be like,
communication. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
yeah, could that be like a self-absorption though? That's like, they're there and they're only thinking about their own goal or their own purpose as they're there, which is
Yeah.
potentially, if they were very self-absorbed in that way, then they actually then wouldn't be as, they wouldn't notice the body language of others as well, if they were just thinking about themselves, maybe.
I also think, I mean, it would probably be normal to be just thinking about yourself to a certain extent on a job interview, and also
Yeah,
to a certain extent on a date, right? Because if it was a blind
yeah,
date, you're probably focusing on, especially if you're like a nervous person or a self-conscious person, like, am I acting right? Is my facial expression right? Am I, does my hair look okay? That sort of thing.
yeah,
So I think that,
yeah.
yeah, kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Normal, but a complicating factor that prevents the
Yeah.
communication from
This
flowing
situation.
properly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you think about it like here we have a situation where there's a fundamental misunderstanding, and then there are one or two or three barriers that keep popping up that prevent the correction of that mistake, the correction of that misunderstanding, right? So because
Yeah.
we flag posted several places where there could have been a moment where this could have been resolved earlier, right?
Mm.
Josephine, not Joe. Wait, are you even the right person? Right? RBS, wow, why don't you know about finance? That's why that line is so important, right? So there have been multiple places where, as Louise was saying, maybe a matter of courage to just make that clarification kick in, right?
Mm.
Okay. Honey, how about you?
Yes, I think to add to that as well, it's also like the power of like context on how that is it really helps like shape how we interpret the other person's thing or like what we assume the context is. So for example, like how the fact that when she like Anita goes like, "Oh, let's start by getting to know each other a little bit." Josephine's so much like, "Oh, this context of this is it's just a job interview." So whatever the person said, she kind of interpreted in within the scope of the context. Oh, surely, like she probably just meant like, introduce yourself. It kind of switches it, but also the fact that these two situations, a date and an interview, are two situations where like direct confrontation is a really like uncomfortable thing. I think it's kind of like when you're on a date, you kind of want to go with the flow. You want it to be good, so you kind of just like go with it, confronting it. You don't want to make anything awkward, especially because you're like getting to know the person for the first time. But also with the job interview, you wanna go with it. You wanna like appeal to them, and I think it's really interesting. But also in terms of themes, I think the difference in age, it could be like like really interesting, and like how I guess like different like age groups kind of interpret like certain things. Like for example, Anita finds the fact that you have to order it with a tablet to be like really fascinating, and then like Josephine, like yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, I guess that's cool. Like so yeah, I think that's interesting.
Well, no, that's I like that you mentioned that last time as well, the last read through that you really liked that. And I think this is something that's really nice that in a way it leans into those moments where people can seem patronizing to each other, right?
Mhm.
It's like for example, if you were on a date and you were dating an older woman and she got excited about stuff like that, you might find it cute, right? You might like, oh, she's so cute. Like, um, or hey, I might be younger, but I can be the expert on this, right? I'm not going to be the one that's like outweighed by experience because I'm the tech head, because I'm Generation Z or whatever. And then, yeah, I think the age dynamics for me are very interesting because I didn't write this with age dynamics in mind originally. I wrote this in mind more with gender differentials and gender relationships. Um, and then I found that with the casting that we got, there was a potential to do something a little bit more interesting with the age dynamics. Although I never think about it very much myself. I'm always dating younger men, but for some reason it doesn't bother me. Interesting. Does that come out enough for you, honey?
Mhm.
Like this idea of how the different age, I mean, you keep pointing to the same line. Does there need to be a look at other lines where that could also be like what about the concept of a blind date in general? Is that something that's very older generation? I mean,
I think
do
so.
young,
Yeah.
yeah, so maybe that's something we need to think about.
I've
Yeah.
actually never been on a blind date. Honey, have you ever been on a blind date?
Nope.
I haven't either. I was thinking that I'm like, I've never been on a date. I feel like I need to like get on Tinder or something and like
Well, see, that is the version. That
tell
is
my
the
husband
version.
that it's homework.
No, I think for me it's interesting because I haven't been on a like I have had people set me up, right? Where like I had a friend said, you will like this person, you guys should go hang out. And that's basically a blind date because I've never met the person, right? And that's the vibe I'm going for here. This is supposed to be somebody that Anita's expecting to meet somebody who's basically already vetted by a friend of hers, right? Whereas on Tinder, we don't have that. Like, you know what I mean? Like Tinder, you're lucky if they're not a serial killer. No offense, anybody who's found their partner online.
That
You can
all
see,
came out after I was married, so I don't know
honey,
about
honey, this
online
is,
dating.
you can see my
Oh, look
trauma,
at you.
my old age trauma. I'm like, everything's scary and dangerous and technological. Anyway, but okay, how else can we play up, or should we play up more this age attitudinal difference, or is it the right balance right now?
I think for me, the way how I've been like reading it as well is like she's like when you're talking to like people that are older than you, you kind of try to speak in a way that would like work with them. Like I think I'm
No,
wait.
I don't know. Do tell me.
Oh, Antonia and I would know this. So.
When you like, I think it's a universal thing. Like I think like when I'm talking with my friend, I'll be like, oh my god, girl, period, like something like that. But when it's like but when older, then I kind of like have to tone it down a bit. And I think with it being a job interview, I think Josephine's trying, like that's an element you can play with, like just trying to do that. But then there's also like certain moments where that like youthfulness kind of comes out, and I think like that
Yes.
specific line about the tablet, I think is particularly like interesting because it's a line where like we're talking about the each other and like thing, and then Anita's like, okay, pause, a little break, let me order, let's do something like other than what we've been talking about. So that kind of breakthrough, and then like you see her interact with like the technology and like things around her, and then the different ways and different ages react to like certain things. I think that's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm
So,
convinced. I like
Mike,
that.
can I just
Yeah.
add on that? So, like again, like I think that because the majority of the play is around this like body language, absorbance, this misunderstanding cues. I don't know if you really need another like super super strong duper, super strong like contending, if you like, theme in there. And I think it's quite nice what's there at the moment. And like Honey said, the way she's sort of reading it is quite nice that it brings it in as a very subtle, side to this play. That's just my view on it. And we don't need. I don't know if it needs to be much bigger than the way that Honey's actually doing it already.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that I think it's already coming through sufficiently to make it interesting. But I do want to be intentional about where it's coming through. So we already know that the tablet is a clear area where it comes through. But I also think it's when she talks about when she gets defensive about her age. What does my age have to do with it? And also that first line when she's like, now I'm established in my career. I think these are the three places where we have to be intentional about her youth coming through. And that's sufficient. Like once in the beginning, once in the middle, once in the end. Halas, finished. Okay.
Could it be also in the way that they're dressed a little? I mean, we'll come to that later, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
In sort of, the character on the date looking, I don't know, wealthy or, looking smart enough to be potentially there for an interview, but also maybe also looking established, professional, looking like they're well off, because that could then also be a bit intimidating.
Well, so I've already thought about the costume actually for Anita.
Yeah.
Because a little bit about what you just said, but also a lot about like, what's that boundary. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So for example, it was
Yeah.
like some people think that some female bosses can get away with wearing a little bit of flair, right? And that's because they have enough power not to have to wear the whole power suit thing. So what I was actually thinking about was a very kind of subdued black suit jacket over a red dress. Right? And it would go with Honey thinking, oh, she's a cool boss type of empire, in a job interviewer, maybe, but also definitely age difference, right? Because that is definitely an older woman's outfit. But then it would also lean well into Anita's character that she's ready to start dating, but she's still a little bit nervous and shy. So she covers a little bit, but she's got the red dress just to feel sexy. You know what I mean? So I do think, Louise, you're right on that we have to balance the costume choices very, very carefully. Reactions? I mean, I also think it's important, by the way, what Josephine is wearing. But let's do Anita first.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. There's also the Gen Z office attire discourse. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but
No, tell me.
it was a thing on TikTok. But
Surprise.
but basically a lot of people are like kind of commenting on the fact that I think with like Gen Z and like people that are on social media and stuff, we based our attires and like styles on the different aesthetics. So they're like coquette, like cat, like elegant, like those like a specific aesthetic, like niches. And the complaint, I guess, from like many bosses were just that like when like Gen Z people dress up for work, they're kind of like too like leaning towards more like too like those styles. So there was also this specific aesthetic that came out, which is called office siren. So if you think like devils wear Prada, for example. Okay, I can search it up. So it's kind of like this like 2000s like very like thin glasses, a tight pencil skirt, like those button-up shirts that are really like fit tight, and then like it's kind of gives this illusion of like, oh, this is office attire that's like also stylish. So then many Gen Z or like young people are like, oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna wear to work. So they would be showing up to their like really like rigid strict like corporate jobs like looking like this or something like that. And then like people are like, oh no, 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 like like no, and they were like people actually like getting fired because of what they were wearing. Yeah, yeah, because they would like show up. This is like how like they would show up because the internet has sold this idea of like, oh yeah, this is office attire and this is an aesthetic, and you know it looks nice, so people start wearing them, but it's not applicable in the real type thing. But Gen Z, I guess, like has this knack of like because we base our fashion on like internet like aesthetics, so that it kind of is its own little something.
Okay, I love this. Honey, you've just opened up a whole new avenue that we can play with in terms. I'm just like,
Yeah.
this is amazing. All right. Let's walk through this thoughtfully though. If she walks in like that, Anita will definitely think she's there for a date. That
Yeah.
will
And
definitely
I'm
do that.
gonna see her assets too.
You're gonna see her
Yes.
assets. Woo woo! Now, but remember the balance is that it should always be possible to go both ways. Will the audience understand the Gen Z office siren shtick? My personal opinion is that most of those people in the audience are going to be our
We
friends,
lost her.
so they're.
Is she
I
gone
don't know.
slowly? Is it like it for everyone? It's just me.
What
No,
I'm
it's for
not.
It's
everyone.
for
It's
everyone.
like slow-mo.
It's like really freaking me out. It's like, why is nobody else reacting? I was like, that's creepy.
All right, you can hear me okay now?
I think she's frozen.
Okay, let me turn off my video. So can you hear me?
That's Sonia. She's
And
gone now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
and to
Audience is gonna
Oh,
see
here
that. Oh, can you hear me now?
we go.
much
We
closer.
can,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I was just about to send Sam a voice message about what I wanted to say. So my point was just that we need to make sure that the audience doesn't basically take Anita's side because of the costume choices that we make for Honey, right? So we can't be like, well, of course Josephine is giving the wrong signal. You know, what a schmuck. So I think we can lean into this aesthetic. I really like this idea, Honey. Thank you for this contribution, but not with the short skirt. So I'm going to
Okay.
go with long pencil thin pants and definitely no suit jacket and this tight fitted top. That's very nice. And maybe can we put a little like fashionable tie on you? Or like loosely tied around your neck. Does that sound, would that fit within the office siren aesthetic-ish?
Yeah, sure. And I think it's also like it also balances because like I think Office Siren can be too like so I think there needs to be that balance because she is still a woman working in finance trying to prove
Yes.
herself.
And it's not her first job, so because she's had a few jobs before, so it's not
Exactly.
like it's the first time she's gone to an office environment.
Right.
All
Yeah,
right.
but there can be that element of like she's trying to be fashionable as well
Yeah.
in her
Yes, to
own
give
like
herself confidence, right, as well, because you know,
yeah.
often fashion is an armor, right, as something we do to make ourselves feel better. Okay, so I like that. Good thing I'm recording this, so I'll remember. Pencil thin.
I'm making notes as well, Antonia, by the way.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. You're amazing. All right. So we got okay, so we got onto fashion and the costuming now, which is fine. I did do already a first draft, but now we're gonna revise that. I think that's good. So we got the age. I want to wrap up the theme discussion now, unless there's any other comments. With like going back to how this play can morph depending on who's in what role. I think this is also important for Simon because with depending on who you have different ages, you have different genders, you have different issues that face people in relationships based on those characteristics. So I think miscommunication happens across the board with all types of couples. But I do think there are certain things like we did change some of the dialogue for this because um, originally the line was, I thought you'd be taller, for example. And there is all of this discussion about like how men and women, have certain expectations of each other physically, in terms of purchasing power, in terms of height, in terms of age, youth, beauty, you know, body shape, etc., like this. And that was important to explore and how that could be translated into other settings like a job interview, right? Um, when you have two women, it can be about age. It can also be about somebody who's, been dating a lot, somebody who hasn't been dating a lot, all these kinds of like experience, I guess you could say, age, experience, not always the same thing, but often they correlate. Um, and I also think that there are some things like where a lot of the humor comes in is things like where we're very, very close to dirty jokes. When it comes to like the assets one with the version in the man woman version is, I think, sizable qualifications, So you kind of lean into that. And I did want to explore it across the spectrum of possibility, not just say, okay, I wrote it as a man and a woman, it has to be that way. Um, I do think that with the cast that we have, things are coming out that are exciting that I didn't think about before, and I really, really appreciate that. And I think with having a male understudy for Anita slash Antonio, it will shift that dynamic a little bit again. So then, for now, I would say for the main cast, keep those themes of communication, miscommunication, and age age is secondary, but miscommunication is the primary. Those themes really strong. And for Simon, you have to do a little bit of extra work where you're thinking more about the miscommunication, but also what does it mean to be a man on a date with a very young woman sitting across from you, not putting down the right signals, right? So that's a
Sure.
little bit of extra work, but I think it's important to do the groundwork. All right. One more run through, or are we happy? Don't hear anybody. Did my sound go out?
Well, up to the other guys here, I'm quite happy.
Do you want to do it again, guys, or
I
are you
don't
okay?
mind. Yeah, we could. I don't mind doing it again.
I don't either.
Okay, let's do
Right,
one.
okay, let's do it one more time then.
Yeah. Okay, Sam, can you
Yeah,
count in?
let's do it.
Okay. I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic was terrible.
I'm sure the rain made it worse. Don't worry about it. I'm glad you made it.
Sorry, I'm Joe, by the way.
Yes, Joe, I thought you preferred Josephine.
No, Joe's fine.
I thought we'd start by getting to know each other a little bit.
Yes, of course.
So, where are you from?
Oh, just from down the road, actually. I am a local, born and bred. Um, and you?
Oh, same. I went to high school here, and then for university I went to Canada. And then I came back here to start my career.
Yes, of course. So, a little bit about me. I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Warwick, followed by my MBA in Cologne.
Wow, that's quite the resume.
Yes, exactly. My first position was as a financial advisor with the Deutsche Bank. Then I worked for RBS,
RBS.
Royal Bank of Scotland. So full disclosure, with DB, I made about 89,000 euros a year. With RBS, 120,000 GBP. But that's when I was younger. I expect much more now that I'm firmly established in my career.
Good for you.
So this is a little awkward to ask, but six figures, right?
Oh, you're right. It is really awkward to ask.
Yes, but I thought it's best we don't waste our time.
Well, I mean, I don't care how much you make as long as you're passionate about what you do.
Sure, I'm passionate, really.
Oh, I'm sure you are. So, do you want to tell me what you're passionate about?
Investments and getting the client the dividends they need to really make their money go. I really like to help people achieve their financial goals.
You seem really focused on money.
Oh, I'm well rounded too. I have a lot of hobbies.
Tell me about those.
I do for marathons. That shows I have a lot of endurance and stamina. That would be good in any position.
Well, that's really direct.
I'm very direct. I know what I want and I go for it.
All right, then. If we're being direct, I thought you'd be a little bit older.
Older?
I think it's important to represent yourself accurately.
How is my age relevant?
Age isn't relevant, but honesty is.
I think you'll find that nowhere have I indicated my age.
Maybe there was a miscommunication.
Miscommunication is the death of any team.
You you look at it like teamwork?
Oh, definitely. Especially since I intend to be a partner someday.
Wow, you're way ahead of me.
I think that's very standard today, especially when it comes to people with my assets.
Oh, I see you have a sense of humor.
Yes, I have a sense of humor. I find it useful as part of building a team.
Hold on. I do want to hear more, but let's order some food first. Ooh, look here. You ordered on this tablet.
Oh, that's cool. Yes, I guess you've been here a long time. You must be hungry.
Not that long. But yes, I think it would be nice to get some food. After all, we don't know how long we'll be here.
How long do they usually go?
Well, I suppose it depends on whether it's a success or not, right? I mean, how long do these things
Oh,
usually?
yes, sure. I haven't done too many of these.
Oh, that's nice. I've done a lot.
Oh, I can imagine.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I suppose you've been here all day.
Not at all.
Look, I know this is a lateral move for me, but I am interested in just.
I am a lateral move?
Well, no.
You know, you don't seem that interested in me at all. You haven't asked me a single personal question all night without prompting.
Why would I ask you personal questions at a job interview?
You should have seen her. I think I'm in love. I'm so glad your friend stood me up. Otherwise, I would never have met Paulina.
The resume.
The six figures.
We'll get back to you on the results of the interview in 2 weeks. Thank you again for coming early. I can't imagine what happened to the other candidate.
I feel like there should be a fanfare at the end of this. Sound like a trumpet going boom, 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 something. Well, think about the sound design because I do want some kind of sound design. But yeah, okay, great job, everyone. I have no notes. Sam?
No, nothing from me, guys. Well done. It's very good.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a bit of
It's going to be
practice and
exciting
getting
seeing
the
you.
rhythm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be exciting. We'll do it in person tomorrow as well. I think that's going to be great.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording.